This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update 753, The Deeds at the Ranch Out of Time. Enjoy.
So one of the thing I have with the new animals, right, is, and this is something I have found with all of Anachronia, really. We are super familiar with, like, cows and rabbits and chickens and pigs and all that stuff.
Chinchompas?
So, okay, they're a bit weird, but each of the animals that you can get in the player-owned farm is super unique and characteristic, right?
Right.
And the thing with the Ranch Out of Time is it feels very samey. There's like 10 different kinds of dinosaurs you can get, but, you know, show me one. I couldn't tell you the name, and I think that is something that is holding me back from really enjoying the Ranch Out of Time. Like, there's less sort of, it's more out there and less imaginative of, you know, I actually have a farm. I think that's a bit of a shame, because, yeah, I feel it doesn't have the same feeling, if that makes any sense.
Right, and you see that as well, because the dinosaurs themselves can only breed within their species. And if you look at the total number of produce that you can get, aside from, you know, the vines and the whatever other one it is, the poison slime, you got Beak, Snot, bottled dinosaur roar, dinosaur claws, and spark Chiten. So you got 4 different kinds of main produce coming from the farm on this front. The spark Chiten comes from brutish dinosaurs, as well as anything that's tops, like Aciotops or Malatops. The Beak Snot comes from anything that's a bird, so pterosaurs. Anything that's a pterosaur gives that. And then the Rexes, of course, give bottled dinosaur roar in terms of their
so at least
produce.
At least a sort of a system, but in the end, you know, this is very made up and somewhat arbitrary. Whereas if you look at the player-owned farm, a cow will give cowhide and milk, which I can imagine, and that's how it works in real life. So it's much more intuitive versus the Ranch Out of Time, where I think it's much more a learned thing as to sort of learning which belongs to which, you know, I think it adds like an extra obstacle to, you know, getting to know it and really engage with the content in a more direct way, which I have a hunch it's not going to be as successful as the player-owned farm because of that reason. It's less something you can easily role play almost. It's not the right word maybe, but you know, I can put myself into the shoes of a farmer at the player-owned farm, but I could never imagine myself being like a Jurassic Park kind of person. So that's sort of there's a lot of stuff that happens in farming and herblore past 120 where it sort of leaves the realm of the imaginable and sort of becomes a list of ingredients.
Yeah, and I think also what you're describing is the interaction gap on this, because like I said, I popped these 2 eggs in the breeding pen on Monday, and last I checked, you know, about 8 hours ago or so, give or take, they were still adolescent.
Yeah.
So the big dinosaurs are going to take a long time to grow up and then presumably breed along with that. But each of the little bottled dinosaur roars that I got, 100K each, a couple days after.
What are they using those for?
That's one of the herblore potions. We'll get to that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am very interested in where the price is actually going to settle. Like,
yeah, me too.
I think I think it's going to take 6 months at least before, you know, especially with these things taking like over a week to actually start getting stuff. You know, I think it's going to take over 6 months for us to actually see what is going to be profitable and what isn't.
Yeah, well, I've made about 25 mil since the update.
Jeez.
From farming. You can watch full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. You can also listen to audio versions of RSBANDB Update at update.rsbnb.com, and feel free to subscribe to our show and any number of podcast listeners out there at update.rsbnb.com/subscribe.